Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Miscellaneous Gab here with a special guest today, Miscellaneous Grace.
Hey.
If you've never seen her on my channel before, she has appeared previously both in a YouTube live as well as last year we made a Harry Potter X video. Go check that out if you haven't. Whenever Miscellaneous Grace is on my channel, it's usually a good sign that we're going to be talking about Harry Potter. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be reacting to all the new Harry Potter cast releases for the show. Anything to say about that?
I mean, I'm excited for the show, a little bit nervous. Not even anything to do with the casting choices, but I just don't know if they can remake the Hogwarts magic, but I'm excited to see it and make my kind of decision off of it.
Before we begin, I do feel like I need to address an elephant in the room, so to speak. And that elephant goes by the name of J.K. Rowling. I've seen actually not very many at all, comments on my videos telling me that it's inappropriate.
I've seen a lot on other videos. I've seen a lot in other social media posts in general.
That it's basically inappropriate for me to be commenting on Harry Potter at all because of everything that's going on, has gone on, will go on with J.K. Rowling. And I just have to say, I'm not gonna stop. Regardless of how you feel about the author, Harry Potter is and will always be one of my sister and I's favorite book series, movie series, worlds.
Well, and I mean, let's just talk about the fact that there's a statistic that kids who read Harry Potter are better, more empathetic adults, if anything.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
I want my YouTube channel to be a place where we can come and talk about things and even challenge each other's thoughts and engage in respectful discourse. I'm not going to get into it too much here because I genuinely want people to be able to come to my channel and get lost in the world of movies and books and television and almost escape this world that we live in through these things. But if there's one thing I will say, it seems to me that we are far more likely to ridicule and hate and ban things that women period, when they say things that we don't agree with. There are so many male musicians, athletes, actors who have government leaders who have actually awful actions, right? Not even words, not even that they said things that a lot of people disagree with. It's that they actually did horrible things. It always seems to me that there's a proper witch hunt, no pun intended, when it's actually a woman saying things. I would just ask you that if you're already typing like Wormtail, writing a little comment about how awful we are for talking about Harry Potter. All I ask is that you don't listen to pretty much any rock and roll musician. You don't cheer on Brad Pitt and other actors in movies, and that you really don't support anyone that's ever done or said anything problematic. Anything to add?
No.
Now that that's over with, let's have some fun. So let's set the scene a little bit about this show and what it's meant to do. This isn't really a reboot, right? It's an adaptation for TV. According to an article by CBR, HBO has made a very specific decision to quote, move firmly away from the original movies. Now, this news kind of freaks me out a little bit because I was under the impression that they were going to try to do the most true to form, true to the books. Was that your understanding?
That was my understanding, was that it was going to be pretty much as close to the books as possible. And I mean, for the most part, the movies do a pretty good job besides omitting like a few key characters.
Like Peeves.
Peeves.
Just this article, the truth is no matter what the studio does, audiences are always going to be looking for points of comparison. That means that the look and feel of the show are going to be drastically different so that it can form its own identity away from what came before. Now, I definitely think this is a bold statement to make, and it could potentially be pretty problematic because there's something so nostalgic and timeless about the original Harry Potter films. We're going to be going into the cast, like giving our 2 cents on the casting choices, talking about it. We welcome any respectful discussion or debate in the comments below. So first things first, we have Harry Potter, who will be played by
Dominic McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
My first impression is I think it's a good match. The only comment that I kind of have is that Dominic, he looks almost too perfect. I'll be really interested to see how they, change his appearance with costume and makeup because he looks almost too well put together, whereas Harry, right, is supposed to be kind of messy, hair doesn't lie flat, like almost malnourished sort of situation. So I'll be interested to see how they change that with the costume and makeup. But I like it overall.
Does he have have green eyes. They're blue, which...
How hard is it to find a green-eyed child?
Next, we have Ron Weasley, played by Alistair Stout. I'm a fan.
I love his first name. I
He...
think this is a good match. This is good.
He's Ron. I don't know. Like, look at that little smirk. Next up, we have Arabella Stanton playing Hermione Granger. I'm down. They kind of really couldn't mess up these three kids for me. But what really sold it for me, I don't know if you saw it, was this little clip of her acting.
I did see that, yeah. If you hadn't been watching the clip, it could have been Emma Watson saying the same lines, which I thought, like the same cheeky kind of like slightly know-it-all enunciation.
The attitude.
Yeah, so I really liked that. I appreciated that when I watched the video.
Okay, next we have John Lithgow as Albus Dumbledore. And I don't know if you're as familiar with John Lithgow, but I'm actually pretty excited. So for one, he voiced Lord Farquaad in Shrek. And he's also been in a number of other films. He played a serial killer on Dexter. And what I really like about John Lithgow is I think he's going to be able to portray the quirky, but also the
Soft,
serious. And almost dark side of Dumbledore, too. Michael Gambon. First of all, that actor, may he rest in peace, he never read the source material. I don't think we need to talk about it, but Harry, did you put...
Mother name in the goddamn governor, you little piece of
Like, he didn't really know Dumbledore truly. You're like really leaning on me.
Sorry, I'm like sweaty, dog.
Okay.
I will say, like, I liked Richard Harris's calmness and his softness, right? Because that's how Dumbledore is supposed to be. I think he was almost a little too, I hate saying this, elderly.
I mean, he's supposed to be old as fuck.
Yeah, but he's also supposed to be like astonishingly strong and like a
Like, not frail.
demanding character. And Richard Harris was a little frail.
May he also rest in peace. Next, we have to address another sort of elephant in the room, which is the casting of Papa Acedu as Severus Snape. I have struggled to talk about this for a while. One, because I didn't want to come off as someone who doesn't support diversity in casting, because I absolutely do. I'm not one of these woke police who's trying to say that so-and-so can't be so-and-so because they look like so-and-so. I really have never had any problem with any race swapping or character swapping, gender swapping, anything in any movie that I can think of. However, I took the time to really research and honor the voices of people of color who were creating content around this, about representation, etc. And I found that my opinion sort of agreed with theirs, so I feel comfortable sharing it.
I mean, also, you have to think of the fact that HBO and other, I think, like, Harry Potter maybe like the Harry Potter Instagram handle that posts all major Harry Potter content, had to turn off all of their comments when posting these casting reviews specifically for Snape, because so many people had this same idea.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to assume that many people have the same opinion.
Let me quickly read you the description of Snape from the book.
Directly from the book.
Snape is described as a thin, pale man with greasy black hair, a hooked nose, and uneven yellowish teeth. He's often depicted as having a sallow, which is a pale greenish yellow complexion that turns even paler when he's angry. His eyes are described as black, cold, and empty, and his expression is often unfathomable, with his lips curled in a sneer or sneering smile. Now, my sister and I have talked about this at length on who would we be okay with race swapping or what we didn't care. I literally wouldn't care if they made Dumbledore Mr. Miyagi. This one, it doesn't make sense because everyone just recoils from Snape.
There's so much emphasis throughout every single book on his pale appearance. He is almost described as like what you would think a vampire would be, like having
very
white
vampiric.
skin. Yeah, like dark hair, like bat-like in the way that his hair and his cloak like flows through a draft.
There's also so many characters in Harry Potter of different races, backgrounds, and sexual orientation. But I always enjoyed the diversity of the cast and the characters reading the books and growing up with the books. I would so much rather either staying true to the original races and ethnic backgrounds of the characters, but developing them a little bit more. So we had a little bit more on Dean Thomas, on Angelina Johnson, on the Patil twins, on Cho. Problem is that now I feel like they can't be true to the character and the journey of Snape without actually coming off as racist. If you think about it,
he's gonna be the only teacher that Harry objectively hates from the beginning.
In the flashback where Harry goes back and sees James bullying Snivellus, Sirius asks James, why don't you like him? Why does he bother you so much? And James says, it's more the fact that he exists, if you know what I mean. How is that gonna look? How is that gonna show Harry or Harry's father or even Ron and Hermione? Like, none of the Gryffindors like Snape. Like, nobody really likes Snape. Also, I've looked up some clips of Papa Acedu acting. Fantastic actor. I honestly think he's too handsome for Snape. He's a good looking dude. I mean, I'm sure they'll give him the hair, whatever, and I'm sure, I have no doubt he can play the part of an anti-hero.
I mean, they're just gonna have to put in some work to make him look halfway ugly.
Like, not that Alan Rickman, may he bless in peace, but he was perfect cast. And it also shows like Lily's goodness was because Snape was so kind of repulsive. She was the only one who wouldn't bully him even when he called her a mudblood.
And can we talk about the fact that the one teacher who's a person of color is supposed to be closely related to the Dark Lord? Like, I mean, there's a lot of issues.
Agree. And that's on that. Next, we have Minerva McGonagall, who will be played by Janet McTeer. I mostly know her from some small roles, primarily the lawyer in Ozarks. I'm excited for her as McGonagall. I mean, obviously, it's so hard to top Maggie Smith. I think she's good at the kind of tall, serious figure.
I mean, she seems very regal from what I see, and I think that's kind of what you need in a McGonagall.
Next, we have Nick Frost, who will be the gamekeeper, Rubeus Hagrid. I'm good with it. I think so much of Hagrid comes to life in camera angles and beard.
No, I mean, I think this is a good casting. He seems like he has kind eyes, which I think is essential for someone playing Hagrid.
Next, we have Paul Whitehouse, who will be playing Argus Filch. Now, so a fun fact is that he played Sir Cadogan.
Oh, wait. I remember you telling me this. Okay, yeah. So like voiced it or what?
Well, it was like his likeness and voice was Sir Cadogan. It's hard because Harry Potter's just one of the best casted shows ever. I think the OG Argus Filch was so good. I'm actually hoping we get a little more Filch, like they develop him a little bit better as a character.
Yeah, I mean, in the movies, you don't get the whole backstory and feeling of why the students hate Filch and why Filch hates the students. So I think
we have Luke Fallon as Quirinus Quirrell. I think like that's Quirrell.
I mean, look at the eyebrows.
Look at that man and tell me he doesn't have Lord Voldemort on the back of his head. He's dodgy.
Something's wrong here. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, this is one of the ones I was so excited for because little me, small miscellaneous Gab, Tom Felton, I think was one of my first crushes. Locke Pratt playing Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, I mean,
he almost looks like too sweet.
He looks really kind, so it will be interesting. This is another character that's expressed as having like very pale skin and blonde hair. So I mean, they adhered to this one. I'll be interested to see if they lighten his hair up anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking like I hope they give him that bleach blonde hair. Here's something that I don't know about. We have Belle Powley as Petunia Dursley and Daniel Rigby as Vernon Dursley. They're too attractive.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
attractive.
I mean, you look at both of these people. They don't seem to have much makeup, or you can't even see their outfits, and automatically they look too attractive. I mean, Vernon's described as being ugly, no neck, and Petunia is described as horse-ish, right? Like she's very bony. She's supposed to have like a
sunken
look
face,
about her. She's not supposed to look nice, and this, like, I mean, Bella's gorgeous. The hair's the same color, but I'll be interested to see how they make Daniel Rigby look ugly.
These two they also look young. They and now granted, all the actors who are playing like the older generation in the OG are really old. Like, Snape is supposed to be freaking 30 years old. Lupin and Sirius are like 30, 32 years old. But anyway, Petunia and Lily are supposed to be quite close in age. Next, we have Catherine Parkinson as Molly Weasley.
I really like this. I mean, I feel like she looks like a bit younger than, Molly was casted in the original series, but I love her hair, and she seems very kind and warm, and so I think it'll be good. And I feel like they're definitely going to go for a more modern look versus, it was supposed to look... like
very 90s, early 2000s
so I think
core.
all of these actors look a bit more modern.
As long as they don't have freaking lip filler and Botox, which...
And crazy
like in
makeup,
Bridgerton. Yeah. Next, we have Alessia Leone as Pavarti Patil, and I'm guessing she'll probably play Padma Patil as well. I just hope they get more time. Like, I think she looks great. I hope we see more of the other characters in Hogwarts. gross.
Yeah, and I mean, I think she's stunning. I think she looks, I mean, a lot like the original actress with her bone structure.
Next, Leo Early as Seamus Finnegan. This kid is freaking adorable. I know they're probably changing things, but I just hope that this kid is still always the same one who like blows up something in his face.
Like the trickster, kind of always messing things up type.
Next, we have Bertie Carvel as Cornelius Fudge. Problem I'm having with this is he looks like too smart. Everyone who works at the ministry is literally an idiot.
Well, and Fudge is described as being like a portly little man with, you know,
a bowler hat.
Yeah, this guy, he looks cunning, and that's a little worrisome because Fudge is not cunning.
He'd be like one of a good like Yaxley or a good like Death Eater.
I think he would make a good Death Eater. Yeah.
We also have Johnny Flynn as Lucius Malfoy. I honestly just think it should have been Tom Felton.
I agree. I mean, they're doing Tom Felton
on Broadway,
right? So I mean, I just think he would have been a little bit better for the role, but that's just me.
And then we also have Sienna Musa as Lavender Brown. I'm honestly surprised that they're announcing this casting because I feel like Lavender Brown literally did not become important at all for like...
I mean, she has several lines and things going on in the third book, right? But beyond that, until the sixth book, she's just kind of inconsequential.
I'm sure as soon as we record this, they'll drop another casting news because that's what they do. Let us know if you want us to make some more Harry Potter analysis videos.
I think for upcoming castings, I'm really excited to see who's casted as Bellatrix.
I can't wait to figure out who Sirius will be and Ginny.
I think they need to make some careful choices with Ginny because Ginny Bonnie Wright did a great job, but the way they wrote her...
They shafted her on the writing.
I
want to see real Jenny and also real Ron come through because I feel like Ron in the movies is just like a total dodo bird.
Yeah.
And Ron in the books has a lot of good lines, funny.
And another thing that I hope they show is this relationship, right? Where like Harry is like in awe of Ron because I don't think in the movies they all the way showed that.
He loves his family.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, this is so cool. Like, in the movies, they show that he's really, you know, enamored by the burrow and by the tent at the Quidditch World Cup. But, I mean, Harry doesn't know what he's getting into in this magical world, and oftentimes he looks to Ron for help, and I think that's kind of missed out on.
And that's the one thing Ron knows that Harry and Hermione don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you like this video, like it. Comment and subscribe if you're new around here. If you didn't like it, well, just don't do any of that stuff. Thank you to all my Waffle Party Patreon members as well as my other paid members. You guys are awesome. And she says thank you too.
Gracias.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.